Hey guys, what's going on? It's Kenny, aka Mr. Addy Tinty, coming at you with a new Black Ops 4 gameplay. It is going to be a hardcore control victory. But what I really want to talk about, the theme of this episode is mental health. So, it's commonplace in popular culture and everything. Depression and anxiety is talked about very freely. Which is good because I think it's brought some sight and some knowledge to the forefront that a lot of people were just kind of pushing to the wayside and weren't really. Nobody was talking about it. It was there. People were suffering from it, but nobody was talking about it, which is not good. That's not how you solve problems. The only problem I see with bringing it into popular culture is I don't want to say it's brought it to the forefront in a popularized method, but I think people have faked certain things for attention. I'm not saying everyone, but I'm saying I think that because it's become so commonplace to talk about it, there's a negative stigma that is now associated with it because of that. So I just kind of want to discuss my thoughts on it, because to just put it up front, I suffer from depression and anxiety. It's people will say it's not genetic, and it is genetic. It runs in my family. It's very commonplace. I've learned to live with it and cope with it without medication, which is probably not the best because it does tax me from an energy perspective on myself. So I just want to share a few different stories on how it affects me and the things that I've done to help cope with it, and things that might be able to help you if you suffer from depression or anxiety. First story I want to share is fairly recent. I probably have I hate to say, I have anxiety attacks on the regular. Not anything debilitating, but you can feel it come on, you can feel it when it's there, and you can feel it when it dissipates. And you just learn to kind of go through it. But I had an episode recently. I was at a birthday party for my daughter, at a friend's birthday party at Bounce U, which is like a bouncy house place. And on the way there, I could feel one coming on, but I didn't know of the severity. And then when I got there, it was real bad. Kind of felt like I was suffocating, like slowly drowning. I just couldn't interact. So I was trying to breathe. I was trying to make it dissipate myself. And then I actually had to go outside for about 10 minutes, take some breaths to work through it. But it was one of the most severe anxiety attacks I've ever had. But because I'm so used to having them, as bad as it was, I was able to work through it and push through it and hopefully not bring too much attention to myself. That's the last thing I want. I hate that. I mean, I'll tell the people I love, like I texted my wife, I was like, listen, I'm going outside for a little bit because I'm having one of the worst anxiety attacks I've ever had. The biggest thing for me is the importance of physical exercise. It makes you feel good about yourself, and the hormones and stuff that it releases, the endorphins and adrenaline that it releases, really help to cope and counteract the hormones and feelings that you get when you're suffering from an anxiety attack or just depression in general. So that's my biggest tip. And just knowing and being aware that you have it. Awareness is huge in knowing that you need help. Let's see. So, around the time, and this doesn't coincide with it. It just happens to work timeline wise. Around the time that Mac Miller died, I've been going through, and lately this past year in time, has been a really tough time for me overall. So my depression and stress and everything has been at an all-time high. So then so this was part of that episode. So around the time Mac Miller died, I had a really dark time. I was pretty much depressed all the time. I was having constant anxiety attacks. Just things weren't going great. And I've written music for the last few years. I wrote a song that, as I read it when I'm not in the mood, it's kind of a reflection to see. The song is actually called Reflections, to see that to what it does to you mentally. At the time, I was listening to Mac Miller's Swimming album, which the main song I was listening to is like Small Worlds or 2009, which don't have the most positive connotations to them. And My Anxiety by Cal Scrubby, or Scrubby, depends on how you say it. So I want to just kind of, I'm not going to sing it, or it's sort of a rap song, but I'm going to kind of do spoken word poetry of this song. It'll kind of help you see where my head was at when all this was going on. So it's called Reflections. Currently, not the man I thought I would be, or even the man that I wanted to be. I mean, the one that I've been trying to see. These dreams. Reflections in the mirror can't make it any clearer. Keep moving further even though my face is nearer. Try to remove the stain, but all I do is smear 'em. Can't confront my demons, 'cause all I do is fear 'em. What the fuck? Feeling so deep in this rut. Pain inside like a knife in my gut. But people telling me to reach out. I shout, I'm in need of some help. Feeling like a car without a seatbelt. And whelp, tripping so hard that I fell. Face down. Feeling like I'm sinking in hell. Screaming out, without a damn soul to tell. I know I'm not alone. I'm not the only one that feels this. But trying to get this through my head is like trying to explain this to children. I killed them. I'm in need of some hope. Sinking in these feelings like a hole in a boat. Anxiety got me mentally just nope, a ghost. So I just wrote that kind of freestyle writing. There's never been, I've never made any changes to that. I wrote that during that dark time, and that was it. But it helps. And going back, all the bars in there about sinking in a boat and sinking in hell and screaming for help and looking for hope, really just shows you where you are at mentally. And I think that helps. It helps to be a reflection so you yourself can understand when you're not in that feeling and in that mode anymore, what you are feeling. It's like almost a diary entry. And I would highly recommend writing when you're feeling like that. Not to put you deeper, but to get it out there, give you a chance to reflect upon it. But and now back what I was talking about real quick. I don't medicate, but I suggest that if you do, you find someone to talk to, and you get it out there, and you do what you can to make yourself a better and healthier person. Whatever it takes, because it's not okay to live like this. And there are people there. You are not alone. You are never alone. This is Kenny, Mr. Idiot, signing out.